Adua TV, bringing good things to life.
Good morning and thanks for joining us on today's news bulletin. This is the AM News coming to you live from our studios at the John Evans Theatre Mills High Street in Accra. We also stream live on Facebook at Edward TV Ghana, on YouTube at Edward TV GH, and around the world at edwardnewsonline.com. You can visit our website to read more, to get more update on the news as and when it pops up on edwardnewsonline.com. Just as always, you can also visit us on our social media handles and with your thoughts and comments. Now, my name is Janathan Armah. Now, coming up in this bulletin, following matters arising from the UTAG strike, which has entered its 7th week, the national president of the University Teachers Association of Ghana has stated that they remain resolute on their demands. We'll bring you details of that, including new development on the Nima shooting incident, as second lead suspect has been arrested in Aflao. Also in this bulletin, we'll bring you new details pertaining to the electronic levy, as Ambrose Terry has stated that unpaid NAPCO allowance is better than unemployed graduate association. Details to that and more right in this bulletin this day. Thanks for staying with us. Remember, this is your hub of comprehensive and compendious news. My name is Janathan Armah. Now to our very first story. The University Teachers Association of Ghana has noted that it remains resolute on its strike action until its demands are met. The national president of the association, Professor Solomon Nunu, speaking on behalf of the group, indicated his members are not returning to the lecture halls despite the court's ruling until their demands are fully met.
There's not been any meeting between UTAG and government since the ruling, and so as of now, nothing has taken place. That came up, but the branch has actually responded appropriately, informing them that any decision to call off the strike or otherwise will depend on the communication that will come from the National Executive Committee of UTAG. Yes, UTSA has not started lectures, as earlier indicated, so right. We are all on strike as of now. The restoration of market premium allowance to its former point of 114% of our basic salary. So that is basically what we have transmitted over the period, and that's ideally the way forward. So if government was able to stop this as quickly as possible, we believe that would help arrest the situation. No, the last time we met the National Labour Commission was the 13th of January of this year. That was the day we appeared before them, and that was the last time we also met them. As at the moment, that is the situation. Okay. But yes, a few calls have come up that we need to consider. The Parliamentary Select Committee on Education have made some inroads that brought certain things to the fore. So based on their discussions, within this week, we are going to have a series of meetings to deliberate on what they put across. So that is something there. Unfortunately, what they said also doesn't put any money on the table for us. So that is the unfortunate side of that engagement. I think nothing has changed. It's still the same old story.
Well, there you have it. That was the president of the Association of the Ghana Teachers Association of the University Teachers Association of Ghana, Professor Solomon Nunu. There, but away from that, to issues demanding pertaining to the Nima shooting incident. Suspect Ali Awudi, one of Nima riot kingpins and leader of the Bom Bom gang, has been arrested by the police. The suspect, who has been on the run since the incident happened in Mamobi Nima violence, which occurred on January 18, 2022, was arrested at Aflao through an intelligence-led operation. This arrest means that the leaders of the two groups are both in police custody.
Next, a shooting incident and mass violence around 3:30 p.m. on January 18, 2022, when two rivalry groups led by Kumoji, well known as Ibrahim Hussein, and Bom Bom, also known as Ali Awudu. The two groups are said to have always disagreed on issues. The violence spread across some sections of Nima, and it took the intervention of the police to restore calm. Ibrahim Hussein, also known as Kumoji, the leader of the Kumoji group, was earlier arrested on February 4, 2022 in a similar intelligence-led exercise. Ibrahim Hussein is currently on 80,000 Ghana cedis bail with 2 sureties each. The Ghana Police Service yesterday announced the arrest of suspect Ali Awudu, one of the Nima riot kingpins and leader of the Bom Bom gang. According to the police, the suspect, who has been on the run since the recent Mamobi Nima violence, which occurred on January 18, 2022, was arrested at Aflao through an intelligence-led operation. His arrest means that the leaders of the two groups are both in police custody. So far, 14 suspects have been arrested in connection with the incident, while other members of the gang are being pursued. The police assured that it will do whatever it takes to arrest all other members of the gang and dismantle their activities through due process of the law.
Well, there you have it on matters arising on the Nima Mamobi clash. Well, I'll bring you more as and when development unfolds in that stead. But away from that, unpaid NAPCO allowances is better than having unemployed graduate association. These are the words of Ghana's Interior Minister Honorable Ambrose Derry. According to the minister, beneficiaries of NAPCO have hopes of receiving salaries which government will sure pay. This he made known at a town hall meeting held earlier yesterday at WA to sensitize people on the now controversial electronic levy.
That we should go to IMF. We went to IMF before. What was the result? High youth unemployment. This year, last year, thanks to the government, finance minister, we started recruitment. 5,000 police, 2,000 each of other services. The applicants were so many that the short list for immigration was 100,000. And you wanted 2,000. That's the extent of youth unemployment. One of the reasons why we want this tax is to ensure that we provide our girls and boys, our sons and daughters employment. You say we shouldn't collect it, so they should be unemployed. We take the money from those who have and provide the interventions, the free HHS, the school feeding program, subsidization of fertilizer, which only happened under President Nana Addo Akufo-Addo. All those are yearning for financing. We shouldn't collect it. Namine, today, we shouldn't, so that your children will continue to be unemployed. Now, you have NAPCO people asking to be paid. That is better than have unemployed graduates association. That is better. At least they have paid to look up to, and I'm sure that we'll do our best to pay them. There's a lot of employment we did teachers, a lot of employment we did nurses, allowances to trainees and all that. Today, If you have your Ghana card and you want a student loan in the university, all you need is your Ghana card. Before, you needed a guarantor who had SNIT contribution to be able to come. Many people could not do that. Today, all these are being done for us, and we need to contribute something towards it. And they are saying we shouldn't pay e-levy. So how are we going to get the money to deal with these important things? And I speak to you, Upper Westerners, because I know what happened here, isn't it? Before the NPP came, what were the roads in Wa? What were they? I will say with you. Electricity, roads, we all want that. All we are saying is that let us pay something. And MTN is collecting your money. Nobody opposed it. But MTN does nothing for you. Government of Ghana says, give us money. And you say, can we account for it? Sure, we can account for it. COVID hit us. During COVID, you got free water. You got free electricity. What does that mean? Government paid for it. Somebody has to pay for it. Government pays for it. Corruption. This country is better off.
Well, there you have it. That was Ghana's Interior Minister, Honorable Ambrose Very there. Let's still stay on the electronic levy and the town hall meeting that happened yesterday in Wa. Still, Ken Oforiatta in the submission has echoed that the mobile money enterprise is worth over 950 billion cedis now, hence needs to be taxed. According to the Minister, revenue from the levy will help in infrastructural development and also curb unemployment in the country.
That is the society that we are. And that is what we should rise to. And that is what Ghana is, that black star. It's not all those arguments about, well, you are not collecting this, you are not collecting that. We are moving from a business that is 78 billion in 2016 to one that is 950 billion in 2021 and going to continue. Why should we not begin to tax it? So that we can do the work that we all have to do. Why should we be paying our civil servants such low rates, but at the same time it consumes 60% of our revenue? That can't be right. So we need to enhance productivity to be able to do that, So the e-levy really is a chance for us to show our true self, to build that righteous society where our politics is good, we are the toast of the world, where our economy, is moving on because we are an entrepreneurial nation in which people have jobs, where there's a certain clarity of righteousness as a people. So we protect and have values, that cannot be challenged. So that's where we are. And we can do it. I know we can, because I stand here as a testimony to what can happen if the good of our people are brought to fair. So, yes, it's been uncomfortable going through since November 17th about this e-levy and all the arguments. And it just dawned on me that truly the Lord is pushing us to say, Ghanaians, where do you want to go? How do you want to burden share? How can we do this? Because this government that you are talking about is very different from the things we met in 2017 to what we are all benefiting from. Either your niece or your cousin or your son or your daughter must have gotten something. Let's not forget. The same way in which the Israelites sent the spies to the promised land, and Caleb and Joshua came back and said, we can do it. And there were 8 of them going through the crowd.
So that was Ghana's Finance Minister, Honorable Ken Ofori-Atta. If I could steal his words, he says, if Momo is worth 950 billion cedis now, why should government not tax it? Could this be a rhetorical question or a question to be answered? Stick and stay with other news as we bring you as and when development unfolds in that stead. If you just joined in, you're still watching the AM News live from our studios at the John Evans Fifth and North High Street in Accra. Now, in some business update, the Bank of Ghana will significantly hike its interest rate, showed the upside risk to the economy intensify. Fitch Solutions has said in its February 2022 West African Monetary Report. It points out that the risk to the outlook are titled towards a larger interest rate hike by the central bank than its current forecast indicate.
The Bank of Ghana will significantly increase its rate should the upside risk of the economy intensify, Fintech Solutions have said in its February 2022 West Africa Monetary Report. It pointed out that risk to the outlook are titled towards the large interest rate hiked by the central bank than its current forecast indicates. Again, the central bank will remain concerned about upside inflationary pressures stemming from rising government expenditure and the continuing of global supply chains. Additionally, the expected hike in U.S. Federal Reserve will influence the monetary policy in 2022. Should oil prices trend higher, Fintech Solutions believed the Bank of Ghana would implement a large policy rate increase to its benchmark policy rate. Risks to the outlook are titled towards a large interest rate hike by the BOG than our current forecast indicates. Should oil prices trend higher than our oil and gas stream forecast currently indicates, transport inflation would accelerate further, pushing the headline price growth rate and prompting the central bank to implement a high increase to the benchmark policy rate. The Bank of Ghana kept the policy rate unchanged at 14.5% during its last meeting in January 2022.
Well, away from that to some other development in the business update. Government spent 33.61 billion Ghana cedis on interest payment alone in 2020. The January 2022 Bank of Ghana Monetary Policy Report indicates this was higher than the envisioned target of 32.5 billion Ghana cedis. According to the report, domestic interest payment accounted for 78.9% of the total interest payment. Total interest payment, however, constituted about 50.4% of domestic revenue. This was up from 45.6% recorded in 2020. Disturbingly, government will spend 37.2 billion Ghana cedis, about 7.5% of gross domestic product GDP in 2022 on interest payment.
The government spent 33.61 billion Ghana cedis on interest payment alone in 2021. The January 2022 Bank of Ghana Monetary Policy Report has indicated this was higher than the target of 32.5 billion Ghana cedis. According to the report, domestic interest payments accounted for 78.9% of the total interest payment. Total interest payment, however, constitutes about 50.4% of domestic revenue. Meanwhile, total expenditure and arrears clearances for 2021 was estimated at 110.401 billion Ghana cedis, about 25.1% of gross domestic product. This was, however, below the target of 113.750 billion Ghana cedis, also equivalent to 25.9% of gross domestic product. The report also said the out 10 was 97.1% of the target and represented a year-on-year growth of 10.3%. Compensations for employees, including wages and salaries, pensions and guarantees, and other wage-related expenditure totaled to 31.663 billion Ghana cedis, higher than the target of 31.490 billion Ghana cedis. The use of goods and services for the period under review was 8.624 billion Ghana cedis, higher than expected target of 8.523 billion Ghana cedis. Grants and other government units made up of National Health Fund, Education Fund Trust, Road Fund, Energy Fund, District Assembly Common Fund, retention of IGFs, transfer to Ghana National Petroleum Corporation and other earmarked funds, all summarized to 13.31 billion Ghana cedis.
Studios at the John Evans Fifth High Street in Accra. For more business updates, do well to log on to our website on adwanewsonline.com/business. Now to some updates in the world of sport. Ghana Premier League giants Accra Hearts of Oak and Kumasi Asante Kotoko faced each other in a highly anticipated super clash on Sunday. The derby was exciting but failed to deliver any goals at the end of the 90 minutes of action in the first clash between the two sides this season.
Struggling Hearts of Oak held league leaders Asante Kotoko to a goalless drawn game at the Accra Sports Stadium. The Phobias, who needed a win to cap the gap between them and the Porcupine Warriors, started brightly and should have taken an early lead when Daniel Barnier set up Kojo Obeng Jr., whose strike hit the posts. Minutes later, Barnier had an opportunity to break the deadlock but squandered the chances as Kotoko kissed their luck in the first half hour of the game. Red-hot Kotoko forward Frank Mbella came close to the Porcupine Warriors in the 36th minute, but this effort did not trouble Richard Atta. Asante Kotoko returned from the break with a lot more energy, with Mbella and Richard Lamptey getting great opportunities and keeping Hearts goalie Richard Atta very busy. Sule Montari, who was impressive in the first half, had to be replaced in the early minutes of the second half by Frederick Ansan Botre. The Phobians started to grow into the game once again, but could not just find the back of the net, and later on, coach Samuel Boedu brought on leading scorer Kofi Koji for Barnier. The powerful forward did not get enough time to make an impact as the two teams shared the spoils in Accra. After the game, coach of Asante Kotoko, Prosper Nate Ogum, described their game against Hearts of Oak as a wonderful one, adding that they were going to stay focused and improve in the second round.
It was a wonderful performance from my side. We looked very compact. We played some good possession in the middle of the park. Created a few chances we could have scored, but then we couldn't convert them. Coming on the road to come and play in the manner we played, I think it's good for the boys, it's good for the team, and it's good for team confidence. The chances came, as I said earlier on, but then we couldn't convert. Sometimes that's how the game is. You get your chances, you don't convert them, and sometimes you lose, sometimes it ends in a stalemate. So even though we've been scoring 3-2 in every game, I think we had the chances, but we couldn't convert them, so it's okay. I think we'll step up our performance where we've got into. If you look at the way they played, there is a lot of quality in the players, a lot of talent in the players. So we're going to step up our training. We're going to step up the way we do things, and I'm sure we'll play better in the second round. We have another round of 17 matches to go. So it's not over. We need to stay focused. We don't have to be complacent. We have to take it game by game. And that's what we've been doing from day one. So this game is gone. It's the beginning of our next game. We'll go home, we'll prepare and make sure that we'll get the job done when we play at Kumasi.
Both teams had decent chances to win the game, but Richard Atta pulled some amazing saves to keep Hearts of Oak in the game, as Asante Kotoko were also saved by the goalposts. Samuel Boedu, in his post-match interview, stated his team performed well despite the goalless draw with Asante Kotoko.
The players played very well. Then the challenge that we got It's quite unfortunate, hitting posts and all that stuff. But I believe that there's a hope. There's a hope. When you use the high balls and attacking balls, the players will they'll get tired. It got to a time that you need to keep the ball down and possess and restart again. But that's what happened at the second half. Protocol is a good side, no doubt. But with this first round, they are on top. So they are good side, but we are struggling. But we believe that the day is still young.
Man of the match, Dennis Nkrumah Kosa, speaking after the game, analyzed his team's performance and how he has fared playing in his first Super Clash.
In the whole, we played well. We were compact. At some point they were playing, but then all in all, we didn't allow them to get what they want. They wanted to score, but then we prevented it. We were compact, as I said earlier, and then in the whole, we all did well. I've played against them when I was in Dwarfs, both Hearts of Folk, and then now I've joined Hearts. It's the same protocol. It hasn't changed. Though they have a new coach, their team they are doing so well. But then the feel around the match, the supporters, the noise. But then it's still the same protocol. So I was just calm, just do the simple things on the field, and then.
Hearts of Oak finished the first round with 25 points, 12 points behind their bitterest rivals, Kotoko, in the 7th league table.
Interesting. That was quite some excerpt of the Super Clash that ended in a stalemate. Well, kudos to both teams for their favorable play on the field. Well, away from the Ghana Premier League, let's talk some matters regarding the boxing field. The Ghana Boxing Authority and promoters of the Ghana Professional Boxing League, IMAX Group, have paid a courtesy call on the Minister for Youth and Sport, Honorable Mustafa Yusuf, at his office in Accra. The meeting was designed by the Ghana Boxing Authority to officially introduce its new president, Abraham Kote-Nikwe, and its board members, as well as promoters of the upcoming Ghana Professional Boxing League in Ghana, to the sports minister.
Sports Minister Honorable Mustafa Yusuf was very much elated with the meeting because, as a boxing fan, he has been looking forward to interact with the leadership of Ghana Boxing Authority and offer his perspective regarding productive leadership and the spirit of unity. According to the minister, he was overly excited in Tokyo when Samuel Techi of the Black Bombers made the nation Ghana proud and won a bronze medal after many years of waiting. Honorable Yusuf congratulated the GBA president, his able executive board members, and other stakeholders for their commitment and dedication to the sports. He expressed his satisfaction regarding the achievements made by the Ghana Boxing Authority just within a short period of their tenure. The bouncing back of the Boxing League after 16 years and also secured 2 Renault Kiwit vehicles for the best gym and the overall best boxer. The sports minister urged all stakeholders in boxing to be calm and supportive to what the current GBA is doing for the betterment of all. He, however, advised the GBA president to be very strategic and patient in his approach and style of leadership. Mr. Abraham Kote-Nikwe, president of Ghana Boxing Authority, expressed his profound gratitude to the sports minister and thanked him for the warm and friendly reception his office accorded him and his team. Abraham Kote-Nikwe then eulogized the sports minister for his loyalty and love for boxing and instantaneously brought out a beautiful national boxing title belt and decorated the minister to symbolize him as a true boxing enthusiast.
Exciting shot to see there at the sports ministry. On that said note, this is how far would come to you with the AM News right from our studios at the John Evans Fifth High Street in Accra. For more news, do well to log on to our website on adonewsonline.com. Until then, stay safe. Have a good morning.